When you study a language, whether it's German or English or Russian or Hebrew, you're going to find one of the more annoying things is a single word that can have a whole variety of meanings. So we're going to look at a word today, actually a family of related words that have different forms, and it can mean anything from smoking a pipe to taking an elevator to playing tug of war with a rope. A bewildering and confusing variety of meanings for one single word. Let's take a look. The basic meaning of the verb ziehen is to pull. I pull, I pulled, past tense, I have pulled. Ich ziehe, ich zog, ich habe gezogen. And der Zug, the noun form, is the pull, the drawing force, the traction. And of course, train, as you learned in the very first year of German, der Zug, the locomotive up front pulls the rest of the train along. If you take a puff on a pipe, an inhale, einen Zug, because you're drawing air through the pipe. If you make a move on a board game, ein Zug, you're moving your piece somewhere on a Monopoly or checkers. There's a city named Zug, which also has a lake, Zugersee. Ein Zug kommt durch das Fenster, ein Zug, a draft, a small breeze. It's cold and you don't want your house to be cold. And das Seil steht unter Zug. The rope stands under tension. The rope is under tension, all from the same root word. All right, so Zug. In your first year German class, you thought it meant train, and you thought as soon as you were done with the fact that der Zug means train, you figured you were done with it and it was easy. We just saw how der Zug has a whole universe of meanings, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. Now we can take it and add another layer of confusion or complexity because we can use prefixes. So I can have Anzug, Umzug, Entzug, and dozens of others. So this Zug word is going to get even more mileage when we start with prefixes. That same root word, der Zug, can take all kinds of prefixes having even more meanings. Der Aufzug, an elevator because it pulls you up. To move, right? You had one apartment in one city and you moved to another apartment in another city. Umzug is to move from one place to another. How was your move? Wie war dein Umzug? All right. Der Einzug is moving in. How did it go as you moved into your new apartment? Wie war der Einzug? Der Auszug, the moving out. Wie war der Auszug? How was it moving out of your old apartment? Der Verzug is a delay. The train is late, the airplane is late, you're late for class. Der Verzug, the delay. Der Anzug, of course, is a suit, a set of clothes that goes together. Anzug, because you pull it on. Ziehen, to pull on the clothes. So we saw Zug with its prefixes and all of the meanings it has. It's related to a family of words. So I have Zug, and then there's a verb ziehen. Ziehen is a verb meaning to pull. Now ziehen and Zug don't look a lot like each other except for the Z at the beginning, but there's a connecting piece. The past tense is zog. Ich zog, meaning I pulled, past tense, or perfect tense, ich habe gezogen. So you can see how the Zug starts to look like zog, ziehen in the middle. So these families of words all share some root meaning. The idea behind all of them is to pull, but once again, there's a whole realm of possible translations. Some of the different meanings of ziehen are obvious and related to the idea of pulling something, creating tension. Other meanings, other uses are not so obvious, but we'll take a look at some of them. Okay, das Heer zieht durch das Land. Okay, to move. Ziehen can generally mean all kinds of motion. Ich ziehe den Hebel, I pull the lever. Der Mann zieht einen Zaun den Garten. Okay, to put or place something. Mach das Fenster zu, es zieht. It's drafty, there's this cold breeze running through the room. Du musst einen Schachfigur ziehen. Okay, it's your turn, you must move the piece on the board. So just as we saw Zug, the noun der Zug, had a whole bunch of prefixes, so does the verb ziehen, right? So I can have ziehen, anziehen, entziehen, etc., etc., etc. So again, we end up with more and more and more meanings. There's a whole family of words. It's a branching like a tree structure. The verb form, the noun form, with prefixes in different situations. So we can just keep multiplying possible usages and possible meanings for this family of words. And of course, the verb ziehen can have all kinds of prefixes. Anziehen, umziehen, ausziehen, entziehen. And of course, each of those prefixes will give us a slightly different meaning. Beziehen, to relate to. Das Buch bezieht sich auf die Physik. But it can also mean to refer to. Ich beziehe mich auf seinen Brief. I'm referring to that. Seine Kritik bezieht sich auf unsere Arbeit. His criticism is directed at our work. So beziehen has a range of meanings. Der Lehrer wird nach Leipzig umziehen. Okay, again, umziehen, to relocate. I used to live one place, now I live in another place. Einziehen, to move into your new apartment. Remember, many of these prefixes will be separable, so we have to look at the end of the sentence. Zieht in die Wohnung ein, moving into something. Ich ziehe mir das Hemd an, to pull on, to put on the shirt. Wir ziehen ihn zu, okay, to consult with an expert, a doctor, a lawyer. Zu ziehen, we're pulling him into the conversation, to consult someone. Okay. Zieht sich einer Krankheit zu. He's contracting a disease. Literally, he's pulling a disease to himself. Zu ziehen. The noun, der Zug. The verb ziehen, its past tense forms, zog, gezogen. A huge spectrum of meanings. 10, 20, 30 different meanings. So what are you looking for? You're looking for a couple things. You're looking for context. So you got to look at the whole sentence, maybe the whole paragraph. What's going on? You got to try to guess what's happening and what it means. So looking for context. You're looking at prefixes. Remember, some of those prefixes will be separable, so they will actually not be on the front of the word. They'll be at the end of the sentence. So a huge variety of meanings. This word can mean a billion different things, so you have to stop, slow down, scratch your head, look at that sentence for a while, and ask yourself, what does it mean? That's all for now. Goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, and tschüss.